Primary school. Not the best years I spent alive. In fact, if there was a way to remove that part of my life from my memory, I would. Even though that'd probably set me back a few years. I didn't do anything bad, but I certainly made a fool of myself. Probably the most regrettable thing I did all those years was not have many friends. Not like I couldn't make new friends. I just seemed to not want to talk to anyone else outside of my little group of 3. I had 6 friends across the 2 schools I went to. That's 3 for each school. My smooth brain just kept at 3 friends and would implode if it got more. What else can I say? Now these friends, they were not like me. Far from it. When I wanted to sit down and read a book or contemplate life, they would drag me with them to any game some other friend group was playing. This caused some situations. One example would be being dragged into a game of Stuck in the Mud. And if you don't know what that game is, it's tip, but if you get tagged, you're not in, but stuck in the mud. And you can't move until someone crawls between your legs and sets you free. Please don't question it. But there was this kid who was also playing that we'll call Jonah. Jonah was a 9 to 10-year-old kid who kept on swearing at everyone and everything relentlessly. Now, I don't mind swearing now, but this was a problem for little old me, because all my brain knew was, swearing bad, stop swearing. So little me walked right up to Jonah and said, you need to stop swearing. I'm surprised little me summoned up the courage to talk to someone, let alone confront them. Now Jonah did not like this at all, and once the game was over, he gathered up his friends and came right back. After summoning up the courage to talk like a normal human being, I shut down. This is what the conversation went like. Hey, what's your name? Should I tell him? What was that, British? Can't hear you, British. That was only the beginning of that name. I wonder if the rest of my school life would have been different if I responded. I guess we'll never know. I wish I was never taught how babies were made. Back then as a 11, 12-ish-year-old kid, I was too sensitive, and being straight up told how babies were made me so damn uncomfortable. Even now I still feel like vomiting just from the thought of it. I was lucky enough to never vomit in school, but others were not as lucky as thyself. Once I was just doing art during art class, and I was just so dead focused on it that halfway through my masterpiece, my teacher put a hand on my shoulder and said, "Don't move." At first, I was confused, till I turned around in my seat and some girl has trapped me in my seat. And there was no way around the vomit, so I was stuck there till someone cleaned it up. That was not a fun 10 minutes of waiting. I have no idea how she spewed either. There was no flashing lights, she wasn't being thrown about. Maybe she was just sick and forced to go to school. Does anyone else think it was unfair to be sick and still have to go to school? You could have the new variant of leprosy and still be forced to attend school back in my day. My mum was nice enough to let me stay home every so often when I was stuck in bed sort of sick. But other than bedridden, it was a strict you must go to school. This makes a lot of sense now because kids do tend to be a bit dramatic over a small cold. It still felt unfair though. Also, there's this one really important thing I need to tell you that is imperative to your survival. Don't forget